She's basically incinerated her legacy in just 2 tweets.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Brylan. Now, I know I'm late covering this, but I was still very sick when it all went down, and I really don't want to miss the chance to show you just how insane and hypocritical the woke mind virus is. And also, Simone Biles is one of the most influential people in America in terms of, sports, young children looking to her, especially young girls looking to her as a role model, looking up to her, seeing what she has achieved and going, I want to achieve that as well. Well, Simone Biles has officially gone full monster. There's been signs of it for several years, really going back to the 2020 Olympics. But now she has exposed herself as literally being one of the most dangerous people that your children could look up to. Now in this video, I'm going to show you how Simone Biles hasn't just exposed herself as a woke thought robot, but I'm also going to show you how she defeats her entire argument in one of the most hypocritical ways that you literally possibly could. Hey, would you consider hitting that thumbs up button? When you like this video, it'll get pushed out to more people to help spread the truth. When Riley Gaines commented on this picture of a quadruple A softball team that won the championship because they had an advantage, right? What was that advantage? Man. And we're all supposed to sit here like, yeah. And Riley Gaines is like, comments off, LOL, to be expected when your star player is not the same as the rest of them. And then Simone Biles started her attack on Riley Gaines with this tweet right here, this X post. Bully someone your own size, which would ironically be a male. Are you seeing where this is going? John Root said, what a disgusting comment. You are one of the most well-known and accomplished female athletes, yet you've said nothing to stop men competing in women's sports. Riley Gaines has done more to protect girls' sports than anyone. While she's been fighting for fairness in women's sports, you sit on your ivory tower watching women's sports burn while promoting the Democrats that support this men and women's sports nonsense. P.S. Body shaming as if Riley is 6 foot is so dumb. She's like 5'5". I want you to take a good hard look at what Simone Biles is trying to accomplish here. So body shaming Riley Gaines, but at the same time literally acknowledging the differences between a male and female body. You just can't make it up. In fact, this person said, loving that by trying to insult Riley, Simone reinforces that men and women are so distinct that they should be separate categories. Look how the media is covering this, by the way. It's exactly how you think. Ground News shows you exactly how the left and the right are spinning the news. Look, the left is saying that Riley Gaines is weaponizing Simone Biles' trauma because of what Simone Biles said about body shaming. It makes total sense, right? And the right says Simone Biles defends boys and girls sports, picks the wrong day to fight with Riley Gaines. Stop guessing what media outlets are telling you the truth. Ground News tells you exactly what media outlets are being biased. Their blind spot feature shows you when the left or the right isn't covering the news that you should know about. You can also see who owns each news outlet. If you go to ground.news/Brylan or scan the QR code on the screen, you can get 40% off the same Vantage plan that I personally use. Thank you for supporting the sponsor of this video, Ground News. It helps me to continue to bring you daily news videos that you can trust. In fact, another very hypocritical thing here is that in 2018, Simone Biles revealed she wore sweaters and jackets all year long due to being bullied for her muscles. Here's Simone Biles down here and Riley Gaines on the right. Last night, she attacked Riley Gaines, claiming Riley looks like a male. When the left says they support women, no, it only applies to women who fall in line. But she was also, just a couple of years ago, part of a body shaming campaign where she was, the poster girl for being proud of what you look like and not being ashamed for it. Ironically, Simone Biles said this in 2017. What happened since then? She said, "Aw, good thing guys don't compete against girls or he'd take all the gold medals." Now, why would that be? Do you see what happens when you become a part of the in crowd? When you get accepted by the people who you try to appease. You try to do everything you can for them to come and embrace you and accept you into this higher society of living above normal people. And you become famous and accepted by the in crowd. Well, one of the things you do is you sell your soul to utter depravity to fit in with people who never actually cared about you and never will. But just as Satan prowls around looking for someone to devour, well, one of the ways he devours people is by getting them to accept and worship this sick and twisted view of humanity by calling good evil and evil good. He gets people like Simone Biles here to sell her soul to be accepted by those who hate her with all of their hearts. And she thinks it's love, but it's not true love. She thinks she's accepted. It's not acceptance. Seth Dillon from the Babylon Bee said, "You used to be sane." Well, it escalated because Simone went on to say this to Riley Gaines: "You are truly sick. All of this campaigning because you lost a race. Straight up sore loser. You should be uplifting the TWAN community and perhaps finding a way to make sports inclusive or creating a new avenue where TWAN feel safe in sports. Maybe a TWAN category in all sports. But instead you bully them." And she finishes it with, "One thing's for sure is no one in sports is safe with you around." I don't know. To me, that's kind of like a little veiled threat. Riley responded to this and said, "This is actually so disappointing. It's not my job or the job of any woman to figure out how to include men in our spaces. You can uplift men stealing championships in women's sports with your platform. Men don't belong in women's sports, and I say that with my full chest." Here's this McGill's person again, making another solid point. Retired athlete who never had to compete against men wants little girls who idolize her to have to compete against men. Cat Turd says, "Did you quit on your teammates in the middle of this tweet?" There's a throwback for you. Anybody remember when Simone Biles couldn't handle 2020? Now, I have sympathy. I am very sympathetic towards being not in the right space mentally to be able to compete and to be able to be there in the, these where you're competing at your best because of some sort of mental inability to do so. I totally get it. I have nothing but respect for those who can admit that and stand down and allow someone else to go in their stead. However, Simone Biles did not do that. Yet she was praised by the media for the radical courage of Simone Biles' exit from Team USA. She let our country down. She decided to go to the Olympics in 2020. Well, it was actually 2021, but it was the 2020 Olympics. She went into the Olympics taking a spot from another woman that could have actually competed. No, she went into it knowing that she wasn't in the right place to be there. And this was right in the pinnacle of when Simone Biles started to become ultra woke. Yet she knew she had no business being there, and she still went. Extremely selfish of her to do that. Listen to what Riley had to say about Simone Biles' attacks on her.
In just 2 tweets, Simone Biles basically tarnished her reputation. To anyone with a shred of honesty, to anyone with a moral compass, and to anyone with an innate desire to protect women, to fight for equal opportunity for both men and women, especially as it pertains to sports. She's basically incinerated her legacy in just 2 tweets.
And so someone like Simone Biles has to put on the appearance, accept, and here's the thing. It doesn't always start out with accepting it, like actually believing this the woke nonsense, like the things that just completely go against human nature. It's not always completely believing it, but what you do is you give into it. You put on the appearance of accepting it to be accepted by those who control your fate, your fame, your celebrity. And over time, you slowly give yourself over more and more, and then you find yourself completely given over by God to Satan, to depravity. Well, and then Simone Biles got so much flack, so much heat, she realized, this isn't being taken very well. I wanted to follow up from my last tweets. I've always believed competitive equity and inclusivity are both essential in sport. The current system doesn't adequately balance these important principles, which often leads to frustration and heated exchanges. And it didn't help for me to get personal with Riley, which I apologize for. These are sensitive, complicated issues that I truly don't have the answers or solutions to, because there isn't an answer or a solution in the way that they try to force on people. But she goes on, but I believe it starts with empathy and respect. I was not advocating for policies that compromise fairness in women's sports. Yes, you were. My objection is to be singling out children for public scrutiny in ways that feel personal and harmful. No, lie. Individual athletes, especially kids, should never be the focus or criticism of a flawed system they have no control over. Kind of like causing a child to do irreparable damage to their bodies at a young age when they're not even fully developed, all in the name of empathy. I believe sports organizations have a responsibility to come up with rules supporting inclusion. It's all about what I personally feel and believe. Who cares what truth is? It's what I care about is what should control the masses. And you can't have it both ways. She's saying that, rules supporting inclusion while maintaining fair competition. Megyn Kelly said, Simone Biles bending the knee is such a win for sanity. She misread the room, the national sentiment. She tried to play the woke card on Riley Gaines, and neither Riley nor the nation, all of us on X, were having it. She chose more nastiness, and then she was forced to cry uncle. In fact, someone said she didn't apologize because she realized she was wrong. She apologized because she knows so little about the issues that she clearly thought she was going to get a parade for her internalized heroism. But when she didn't get that, she panicked and tried to save face. Zero sincerity. I agree with that. And I also agree with Megyn Kelly's follow-up to that, of course, but her forced apology is a win for us. It absolutely is a win for sanity. What's interesting is the USA Gymnastics seemingly hides TWAN policy from public amid Riley Gaines, Simone Biles beef. And remember, she can have all the success that she wants on this earth. She can try to appease those who will never be appeasable, but it will not last. Because never forget, in Matthew chapter 18, starting in verse 5 here, it says, whoever receives, this is Jesus talking, whoever receives one such child in my name receives me. But whoever causes one of these little ones who believe in me to sin, it would be better for him to have a great millstone fastened around his neck and to be drowned in the depth of the sea. Woe to the world for temptations to sin, for it is necessary that temptations come, but woe to the one by whom the temptation comes. But hey, let me know your thoughts about all this in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, join this community. I would love to hear from you on a regular basis. And please hit that thumbs up button as well. When you like this video, it'll get pushed out to more people and it'll help spread the truth. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.